guys, and welcome back to the channel and welcome to this week's wedding vlog. Currently, we are only 4 months away from the big day and I could not be more excited. We have done a lot of progress in planning the wedding, but there is still so much to do, so I thought I would take you all along during this week's wedding planning so you could see everything that I've accomplished and everything that still needs doing. I specifically chose this week in my life to film because we're going to be doing so many wedding themed activities. Some things we're going to be doing include a wedding cake tasting. We're also going to be attending a group dance class to kind of test out if we like this dance studio and teachers, and maybe we will hire them to teach us our first dance. I also have my first ever wedding dress fitting appointment. I bought my dress over a year ago and I haven't put it on since, so this is a lot of pressure, but I'm still looking forward to seeing it on myself again. And lastly, I have my hair and makeup trial this weekend. So it's a very busy week with lots of wedding planning activities, and I thought it'd be really fun to share it with you all. But apart from that, why don't we just take a little bit of time to check in and see where we're at now that we're only 4 months away from the big day. So far, I've done a lot of the planning and a lot of DIYs and booked a lot of people. The first people that we booked were actually the venue. It was an all-inclusive venue, so it came with a day of coordinator, service staff, catering, and a bar. It came with all of the rentals, and it was our ceremony space and doubled as our accommodations. The second vendors we booked were the photographer and videographer. We booked them over a year before our wedding. We really loved their portfolio, and I think it's going to be a great fit. After them, we really didn't book anybody for a very long time because most people said that they weren't ready to start booking for 2026 weddings yet. But since then, we've also booked our DJ, which was recommended to us by the venue. Also booked live musicians, which we decided to hire for the ceremony and the cocktail hour. We also got assigned our officiant. We chose to hire an officiant through the Humanist organization here in Norway. When you get married in Norway, you have the option of either doing a religious ceremony through the church, or you can hire a secular officiant through the Humanist organization. So that is what we chose to do instead. I also hired my hair and makeup artist, and we also hired transportation for all of our guests. Since we're getting married in Norway, but most of my family are from the United States, we thought it would be easier if we booked charter buses for all of them so that they didn't all have to rent cars in order to drive to the venue. So yeah, those are all the vendors we've booked so far. In terms of DIYs, I've also done a lot of that. As you probably noticed, I did not mention that we got a florist, and that is because I decided to do all of the flowers myself. Over the last year, I've been ordering a lot of flowers online and have been making a bunch of different pieces with them. I've made a ton of aisle runner flowers, which can double as centerpieces for the reception. I've also created a broken flower arch, which will stand behind us during the ceremony, and a lot of standalone pieces for things like the bar, our photo backdrop, our welcome sign. I'm just putting flowers everywhere, basically. I've also been purchasing a lot of extra decor items. I've gotten a million candles in these glass cylinders. I've gotten things like parasols, fans, sparklers, glow sticks, just a lot of little extras. And I'm DIYing some bigger pieces as well. I'm going to be DIYing a photo backdrop. I DIY'd our welcome sign, and I'm going to be DIYing this like kind of selfie mirror for people to use. And I also ordered some lawn games. So that's the status update so far of what we've already accomplished, but there's still a lot to do in terms of the wedding. I actually have a list here so I can take you through what we still need to do. First and foremost is to finally practice our first dance. So we've already picked out what we want our first dance song to be, but we've never once actually practiced dancing to it. And now it's really crunch time. That's probably the thing I'm most nervous about currently. We also have to meet with our live musicians and figure out our song list. So things for the ceremony, like my entrance song, the song that we're going to be listening to during the processional and recessional. We also need to figure out any songs we're going to be doing for the grand entrance or the cake cutting, just a lot of details like that. We also need to figure out what we're going to be doing for our accommodation and the seating chart. Most people only need to make a seating chart with their guest names on it, but I also have to do that for the accommodation because it's not a traditional hotel where we're getting married. Instead of rooms, it's more like cabins. So I have to actually assign groups of people to specific cabins because we're renting out the whole entire hotel. But now that people are starting to RSVP to us, I can finally start getting those things worked out. And that's something I forgot to mention. I also DIY'd all of our invitations and we sent those out a really long time ago. And we're getting all the RSVPs back now, which is exciting. We still have to figure out our wedding dessert for the sit-down dinner. We did a wedding menu tasting a while ago, a couple months ago, but we did not end up liking any of the desserts. So we're actually going to be going back for a second planning meeting and trying the remaining of their desserts and figuring out which one we want. We also need to figure out what desserts we want to have at the official dessert bar during the after party. I also need to buy a bunch of things that I'm still missing for my DIY projects. I need extra sparklers, extra glow sticks, more flowers most likely. I also still need to get a guest book because the one I originally bought ended up being too small, but I'm glad that we still have 4 months to get all of those things ordered. I also need to finish my DIYs. I'm only about halfway done with all of them, so things like the photo backdrop, the selfie mirror, all of those things still need to get done. Also need to meet with our photographer and videographer. We haven't really met with them since we first booked them, which was over a year ago, so we really need to call them up and go through our shot list, our day of timeline, and all of those details for them. I also want to start planning what we're going to be doing for our welcome bags for our guests. I've ordered a bunch of empty bags, but I still need to figure out what goes in them, how we're going to pack them, transport them, and all of those logistics. And speaking of logistics, I also need to assign responsibilities to friends and family. I need to ask people to give speeches at the reception. I also need to finalize our programs for the wedding. We're doing wedding newspapers. I've already completely designed them, but there's some final details that still need to be added to them once they're confirmed. And then I need to print them all out and fold them all up and tie them so that they can be used during our ceremony. And I also need to figure out our signature cocktail. We've already decided 2 out of 3 of the signature cocktails, but the last one is a bit of a struggle. Our venue's bar is primarily a gin bar, and I don't actually like gin that much. They also have vodka, they say, so I have to figure out what kind of vodka-based cocktail I would like to be my signature cocktail. My fiance is also still missing his suit. He really needs to get on that. And last but not least, we need to figure out who is going to be babysitting our dog Dakota over the wedding weekend. We're going to be gone from Thursday to Sunday, so we do need someone to watch her that entire time, and it can't be any of our friends or family because they're all going to be at the wedding. That is everything that we still need to do now that we're 4 months away from the wedding, but there's also the pre-wedding events to consider, specifically our wedding shower and my bachelorette party. For the wedding shower, it's actually kind of a big trip. We're planning on doing it in the United States, and we're going to be hosting almost like a mini wedding reception because a lot of people in the US can't make it all the way to Norway for the official wedding. And it is a big trip for us as well. We're going to be in the States for an entire week. It'll be my fiance's first time in Utah visiting all of those family members. And I really just want him to enjoy himself, and I want the party to be lots of fun, and it'll be a great time to connect with people that I haven't seen in years. Apart from planning the wedding shower, there's also my bachelorette party to consider. Me and my fiance aren't actually doing wedding parties, so I don't have bridesmaids, he doesn't have groomsmen, and because of that, I decided to plan my own bachelorette party and just invite a lot of my girlfriends. I think it'll be really fun. I'm kind of planning this entire weekend of activities all local to our city, and that is going to be happening in 3 months, so just 1 month before the wedding. I am really hoping to get all of that figured out at least like a month before the actual day so I don't have to stress too much. But yeah, I think that covers all the pre-wedding events as well as everything we've accomplished so far for the wedding and everything we still need to do. It is a lot, not going to lie, but I'm overall very proud of how much progress we've made so far, only 4 months away from the big day. So without further ado, let's get into this hectic wedding planning week. So as part of this vlog today, I thought it would be fun to try on some of the bridal outfits that I have been collecting over the last year and a half. It has actually started to pile up quite a bit. I don't fully remember everything that I did buy because it's been so long. Let's just see what the things look like on me, and I'm pretty sure I'll be wearing some of these for either the bachelorette party, the rehearsal, or even the wedding shower. So let's see how they look. Okay, here is the first look. Obviously, it needs a lot of ironing, but I think it's pretty cute. I'm thinking of wearing this at our wedding shower or maybe our rehearsal dinner. Like I said, it does need a bit of ironing, but I think it's a pretty good first start for the dresses. This is the second dress. It's a shorter one, as you can tell, which is why I think it would be more suited for the bachelorette party. I think it really suits that vibe. This is another dress I have, another short one as well. I'm still a bit confused on where to wear it. I don't think it really suits the bachelorette party, so then my options to wear it are pretty much the rehearsal, welcome party, or the wedding shower. Where do you think I should wear this one? Let me know in the comments down below. This is another short dress and one that I think I want to actually wear to the bachelorette party. Specifically, I think I want to wear it on the day that we're going out to the bars and ending the night at the club. I just think it's really fun and it'll just be a really good time. And last but not least, we have this dress, which is in fact the final contender for what I might wear to either the welcome party or the wedding shower. I think for both of those events, I want to wear a long dress. So it's really just this one, or it's the plain white one that we saw first. This one is a lot more poofy and floral. So we'll see what I end up going with, because right now it's more just up in the air which one I'm going to wear to which event. So today we're going to be doing our wedding cake tasting. I went to the store and I picked up the tasting box. They actually don't have a bunch of cake samples available at the bakery. So instead what they do is they make a bunch of cupcakes in the flavor of the cake flavors. So I got 6 different flavors to try and I'm so excited to see how they taste. Also, today in the mail, we got our cake topper. I had it ordered on Etsy and it is a custom sculpture of our little dog Dakota. I think it's absolutely precious. Let's take a look. Isn't that amazing? So we have several different flavors today. First off, we have chocolate caramel, which is their signature. We also have raspberry, we have carrot cake with cream cheese frosting. There's an Oreo flavor, a lemon flavor, and then just a chocolate explosion. First up, we have what appears to be a Nutella flavored one. I think it's a really convenient way to do cake tasting as cupcakes rather than full slices of cake, because that would be a lot. The cake is super moist and chocolatey, but my favorite part is definitely the frosting. It's kind of like this Nutella mousse almost. Next up, we have the carrot cake with cream cheese frosting. Carrot cake is the biggest thing in Norway. Every single time we have any kind of cake at my work, there's always a carrot cake there. People just seem to love it. That's a good carrot cake. It's really grown on me since I moved here. Everybody loves it. I think it's because it always has a really yummy cream cheese frosting and it's kind of like a spiced cinnamon cake. And that's an amazing cake to frosting ratio. Next, we have the raspberry chocolate. This is one of their best sellers and a classic flavor combination. I usually do enjoy having chocolate with fruit flavors. So they actually put jam inside the cake. I don't know if you can see it in there, but it completely changes the flavor of the cake. It's really good. Next up, we have what I actually think might be a passion fruit cupcake. It's got the passion fruit seeds on top. Passion fruit is another really popular flavor in Norway, so this one is a contender. Also, my fiance loves everything passion fruit flavored. Maybe you can see, but they actually have passion fruit in the middle. It makes it really juicy. It doesn't taste like vanilla cake at all. It's literally just passion fruit curd in the middle, and then the frosting is really passion fruit flavored. None of these buttercreams so far taste like butter or pure sugar. They all really taste like the flavor that they're trying to be. Next up, we have another bestseller. This is the caramel chocolate one. Let's give it a taste. You can't go wrong with salted caramel. You can kind of see it in there. They have homemade salted caramel in the middle. It is really good, but the frosting on top is kind of just vanilla-y flavored. I think I do prefer the cupcakes where the frosting is also flavored. Lastly, we have the Oreo explosion. Oreo is a really popular flavor, so I thought we would try it just to be safe. They actually have an Oreo cookie in it. So those are the flavors we're working with. Oh, it's really hard to decide though. My least favorite were the salted caramel and the Oreo. The Oreo was just really plain and it didn't have anything in the middle, whereas almost every other one had something in the middle. The salted caramel one was really good, but for my wedding cake, I don't think so. The frosting on top also, it was just a plain buttercream. And like I said before, I like when the frostings have more flavor going on. Out of the other ones though, carrot cake is a really classic flavor and everyone in Norway likes it, but we're gonna be having a lot of Americans in attendance as well, and carrot cake just isn't really something you have for weddings typically, so probably not that one. That really just leaves the Nutella one, which I loved the frosting of, and the cake was so moist and decadent. Then there's the passion fruit one, which I think will be my fiance's favorite, especially if it comes with this passion fruit curd in the middle. But right now I think I'm more leaning towards the passion fruit and the Nutella flavor combos. And I guess we'll decide and you'll figure out what we picked on the wedding day. Welcome to my wedding crafting room. This is where the magic happens, and it's where I've been spending a lot of my weekends over the last 2 months or so, and where I'm going to be spending a lot more time in the next 4 months leading up to our wedding. So I thought I would give you a status update 4 months out, show you everything I've made so far and everything I still need to do in terms of DIY decor. Let's start with the easy stuff. First things first, I ordered a ton of these paper fans online, and I put them in this cute little basket that we got from IKEA. My idea is to just have this at the ceremony space, like right before you go and take your seat. You can grab a fan if it's a little hot on that summer day. In a similar theme to that, I also got a ton of parasols. I think I have about 20 in here in total. And then I got this picnic basket just from a random store here in Oslo. And I thought that it ended up looking really cute, and it's going to be next to the fans and people can use them at the ceremony. For the ceremony, I also made these DIY paper boxes, and it says sprinkle with love, please take some petals and confetti. And it has a bunch of these circles in here because I'm going to be making a lot of paper cones and filling them up with these dried flower petals that I also bought online. These are the dried flower petals, and I have about 4 bags this size to use. I don't think every single guest will have flower petals to throw, but as long as the people in the inner seats have flower petals to throw, because that's where the aisle is, I think that's what matters. We're also going to be doing sparklers at the wedding, so I got this from IKEA to hold all of the sparklers, as well as these papers that you put on the sparkler along with some matches. Very exciting. I've also started DIYing all of our flower arrangements. So I am actually doing faux flowers for all of the florals in our wedding, and I'm making them myself. At this point, I have 18 of these guys, and I'm actually ordering more. I think 5 more that I'm going to be making. They're not finished yet. They're still missing stuff around the bottom, most of them. So I did have to go and order more flowers online to fill them out. But this is what we're going to be having on the ground as aisle runners. And we're also going to be using these arrangements at our reception in front of the tables on the floor. And then at the dance party, we're going to be having them around the perimeter of the dance floor. And also going to be using these at places like the bar, next to the welcome sign, next to the seating chart, by the photo backdrop, just everywhere really. I also got this awesome cake cutter set for us to use when we're cutting our wedding cake. I really like the handles on them. And to match the cake cutting set, I also got these champagne flutes, and you can see that it's a really crystal-like bottom to the champagne flutes. And I couldn't find exactly what I wanted online. These originally had big stickers on them for Mr. and Mrs., so I did have to scrape them off, but I think they turned out beautifully. I also went ahead and bought a bunch of glass bud vases online. These are just 2 examples, and I did run out of flowers, so I did buy more of these online as well, and I'm going to start filling up all of the bud vases with more fake flowers, and I think I have about 90 of these. I also went ahead and got so many of these giant glass cylinders, as well as a bunch of small ones and really tiny ones about the size for a tea light, and these are just going to be used as decoration primarily at the reception, but also around the cocktail hour. I have 36 of the big ones, and then I have 90 of the small tea light size. I also bought a bunch of signage for the wedding. First things first, I have this one, which is for a s'mores bar. This is going to be a s'mores bar that we're having at our welcome party. I also got this sign for the open bar later at the after party. And I got this for our Polaroid guest book so that people know how it works. I bought a bunch of glow sticks, so we're going to be using them at the after party also, and I'm going to be putting this sign next to them. We also are doing a dessert table DIY, so I got this sign online for the dessert table. And lastly, this is for the table that will have our card box and all of the gifts can go on. I also got a bunch of these sage green table runners to go in our reception tables. And I got this custom bride hanger online, and I'm going to be using that for my wedding dress. I have these really nice his and hers vow books. And I also got this adorable little basket for our flower girl. For our s'mores bar at the welcome party, I got a bunch of these baskets, so I'm going to be filling them up with marshmallows, chocolate, and graham crackers. In addition to that, I also ordered, I think like 20 of these skewers where people can use them to roast their marshmallows. Speaking of the welcome party, I also made this giant welcome sign for that. It's like just saying welcome to the night before, and I came up with the tagline igniting forever and have the picture of the marshmallows and the fire. As part of our signage, we also got this massive frame from IKEA and found this painting that we really liked online that reminded us of Norway. And we're going to be using this for our seating chart. Since we're going to be doing a DIY dessert table at the reception, I also got a bunch of these disposable serving trays, as well as some special ones for things like macaroon towers. I'll probably show you guys what everything looks like once I do mock-ups of all of the decor at home. My plan later, as we get closer to the wedding, is to set everything up so it looks exactly how I want it for the actual day, take photos of that, print out photos of what it's going to look like, and then attach them to the boxes with the decor inside so that the people at the venue know exactly how to set things up. And then I also got these glass jars from IKEA, which I'm going to be filling up with Scandinavian candy for the dessert bar. Should be pretty fun and pretty special for our American guests. I also bought our card box, but it's not built yet. In addition to that, I also got a bunch of glow sticks. So I only got one box though. I think I'm gonna need at least one or two more to have enough for the party. I also got a bunch of lawn games for our welcome party on Friday. I have this Norwegian one, which is really popular in the summertime, called Cube. I also got a giant Jenga kit, and I got this cornhole set. This is actually another DIY. I'm going to spray paint one black and one white and then write our last name on it in cursive. So apart from that, there's just a few final things I wanted to show you all. First is our photo backdrop that I am DIYing. This is the photo backdrop stand that I have. It's also from IKEA, and the reason why I picked this wicker kind of texture is because I can make these paper flowers and tie them through all of these little holes. And then this here is actually a neon sign, so I'll show you what it looks like plugged in. I don't know if you can really make it out on camera, but it does say forever and always. And I think it's gonna look really great as a photo booth for everybody. I have also started the DIY process for making flower arch. So currently I've just done the greenery and a little bit of baby's breath, but I am missing a lot of flowers. Like I mentioned before, I still need to order them all online to finish the floor, aisle flowers, all of the bud vases, and then of course my masterpiece of the flower arch. Another thing I still have to do is this. This is actually a mirror that we got from IKEA, a standing mirror, and I'm going to be making sort of like a selfie mirror for people, like saying, oh, you look amazing, take a photo, and I'm just going to write on it with white paint or like white marker that can be applied to a mirror. And last but not least, we have our welcome wedding sign. It's so beautiful. It's actually fabric. I added these flowers here to the side. The stand is from IKEA. The sign itself is just a fabric sign that I ordered off of Temu, which was customizable. Really wonderful. And then I added these really pretty ribbons to the sides as well, just as an extra touch. But yeah, those are all the DIYs I've done so far in preparation for the wedding. Still 4 months to go. I've placed a couple more orders online to get more equipment from IKEA and from places like Temu and Shine to get more flowers. Those should be coming in like about a week, and then I can continue with my crafting process. Other than that, I guess the only thing left to do today is to go to my dress fitting appointment. I haven't actually tried on the dress in over a year, so I am kind of nervous. I hope it still feels the same as it did the first time I ever put it on. Wish me luck. At the appointment. So at this point in time, I have already done my dress fitting and also attended the dance lesson with the big group that I was talking about before. And I had some thoughts, so I thought I would share them with you now. There's Dakota, by the way. So the dress fitting went very well. It was more expensive than I expected, but I'm sure many people can relate to that. I'm just getting minor alterations to the dress just fitting it to my body, and then also getting some like detachable sleeve things on the side. Overall, I was very happy with how the dress looked. It still fit me, and I think it'll fit me before the wedding too, which is the most important thing. Other than that, we did attend the big group dance class session. I included some videos of the instructors teaching us some different dances there. It was actually more like ballroom and old traditional dances that they were teaching us. So I think in the clips there, I showed you some dance moves from a polka dance and then also some dance moves from a song called The Gallop. We also learned some ballroom dancing techniques like the minuet, and I think we also did one. It's an old British dance called Hole in the Wall. It was really fun. I liked the teachers a lot. It was a good first start, and now I feel a lot more comfortable just, you know, getting into a dance studio and learning a dance. That is my status update so far. Good morning. So it is a little after 7 a.m. and today is the day of my hair and makeup trial. It's so early because the salon where the hair and makeup artist works is about 2 hours away from where I live. So I did have to wake up really early, and I'm gonna be taking the train for quite a long time today. So wish me luck. It's also negative, like 10 degrees outside Celsius. So hopefully I'm bundled up enough. We'll see how well the makeup lasts on the way home. But yeah, this is my face before. This is my natural hair. It's like how they just told me to come with it. We'll see how she does. I'm looking forward to seeing the results. On the way. I guess this place is located on the other side of the forest. Well, here is the finished look. But this is basically the look. I'll have to show you the hair later because it's all like in the behind. But it's a lot of makeup. I think I'm gonna say less contour for sure, and maybe do a different lip color. But I do like the eyes, and I think my eyebrows need to be a bit lighter. Yeah, overall I think it's a good start.